Hello, I hope you're well. I'm going to do a June book reviews video. I wasn't going to do one because I didn't read a massive amount in June, but I did end up reading a book that I absolutely loved and adored, so I thought I would just show you what I've read in June. So I have a Mary Higgins Clark. This is A Stranger Is Watching. It's a thriller novel. It was originally published in 1978. This is my second Mary Higgins Clark. I have also read Where Are the Children, and I absolutely adore that book. A really fast-paced, fantastic thriller. So this book, this can be spoiler free, opens with two people debating the death penalty in America and whether we should have the death penalty or not. You then find out that the man that is for the death penalty, his wife was murdered. And so it then goes into that murder, and the woman who is against the death penalty, she is trying to fight for the man who was convicted of the murder of the man's wife. The man convicted, gonna go to death for the murder, she thinks he's innocent. Then something else happens. I'm not going to say what because it's going to spoil it, but then a completely different story starts happening, and it's a really fast-paced thriller is what ensues. I loved it. I just adored it from start to finish. I was just sucked into it 100%. I also liked how all the characters were so well rounded. So there were some characters, there was a homeless woman, for example, who wasn't a massive part of the plot, yet I could have had a whole book about her. All the characters were so well written that they all stood by themselves. So I could have had a book on the detective, the homeless woman, the people, two elderly people who lived down the street. All these separate people could have had their own stories because they were so well constructed. I loved it. I thought it was fabulous, fast-paced, really enjoyed it. It was really like, kind of, like I got anxious because I was like, you're against the clock, what's going to happen now? Cannot recommend this enough, love it. I went to the charity shop yesterday and I picked up another Mary Higgins Clark novel. So if you've read that one, let me know. I have not read the back of that book, so I have no idea what that one's about, but I'm sure I'm going to love it because I absolutely loved this one. I then have a children's picture book. This is Madeline by Ludwig Bellmans. This was originally published in 1951, and the whole thing is written in verse. And how the pictures are done is some of them are in yellow and black, and some of them are full colour. And the full colour pictures of Paris are absolutely gorgeous. So this book is about a little girl called Madeline who lives in a house with loads of other little girls, and a woman looks after them all, and it's about their adventures. So they go to the zoo, then something happens to Madeline, and then the story ends. This is a series, so there's loads of different Madeline books, and they're all about different things. There'll be Madeline at Christmas, Madeline in London, loads of different stories like that. I adored it. It was so charming. I adored the pictures of Paris. I thought they were stunning. It was just gorgeous. There is a little bit of intrigue, mystery over the Madeline books because some people have different opinions as to where Madeline is. So in the book it just says there are 12 girls living in this house together and this woman looks after them, and that's it. It doesn't say why they're not living with their families. But something happens to Madeline and her dad sends her presents, her papa. So she must have a family, yet she doesn't live with her family. So people think that either it's an orphanage for children and that a nun runs the orphanage, and that maybe the papa is a wealthy uncle who kind of inherited Madeline. Back there her family had died, and so he put her into this orphanage. So very much like Frances Hodgson Burnett. If you have read A Little Princess, you'll know that she lives in this kind of boarding school, and her dad is still alive at the beginning of the story. He sends her to this boarding school, and you don't get the feeling that she's going home for Christmas like a normal boarding school in England. You get the feeling like she's going to stay there for a few years and not see her dad because he's left the country, but she's going to stay there, but she still has parents. Or A Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett, where the little girl in that, her parents die and her uncle inherits her, and then she's sent to live with him, but he's not really involved in her life. So that's what people think Madeline's about. Or they think that it is a boarding school, that she's being sent to a boarding school, and that the woman who looks like a nun in the story is actually a French nurse, because French nurses at that time, they said, dressed in that kind of uniform. So the woman's either she's a French nurse or she's a nun, it's an orphanage or it's a boarding school. We're not 100% sure. Loved it. Absolutely stunning. When I one day have children, oh my god, I'm going to get all the Madeline books. I just think they're absolutely beautiful, and Paris and everything in it is stunning. Loved it. I then read another Beryl Cook art book. So Beryl Cook was an artist, and I just love her art style, and she used to bring out these books where she would have a paragraph about why she painted the picture that she did. They're just funny. They're just really funny, really witty, really, she was so like quick-witted. You really get a feel from her personality. Even in like the small paragraphs, you really get a feel for how she was like just funny and cheeky, and I love these books. So this one is Private View. I absolutely loved it. I have read other ones by her as well I own, and I absolutely adored. My favourite one is one that I don't own. I got it from a library, and it's when she went to New York, and the whole book is about her trip to New York, and you really feel like you're on holiday with her. It's so nice. So that's what I read, not a huge amount. I have nearly finished though Ballet Shoes. This is by Noel Stratfield, and I'm loving it, absolutely adoring it. It's about 3 girls who this man travels around the world and just collects babies. He collects these 3 girls and then gives them to someone in his family to raise. It's like, here's a present, here's a newborn baby, there you go. And then that woman has to raise the baby, and then the babies, they grow up to be 3 little girls, and it's about them. They also start ballet lessons, that's why it's called Ballet Shoe. They start at a dance school. I assumed the dance school was a boarding school, but it's not. They're still living at home and then going to the boarding school. They don't have a lot of money, so they have different lodgers living in the house with them. Adoring it. Absolutely love it. So beautiful. Really loving that so far. I have then also, I just thought I'd show this because this is really nice. I got this off Amazon. It's a wedding planner, so if any of you are planning your weddings, this is a really great wedding planner. It has different tabs for different things like venue, bride-to-be, suppliers, stationery, step-by-step planner. And I've just been kind of planning in my planning at the time that I would have been reading. I haven't got very far on wedding planning. Me and Dom don't have a date of when we're going to get married, and we're also not rushing it. So we're in no hurry to get married. I would have said we're getting married next year, but we might be getting married in 10 years time. I don't know. I'm just not doing well with wedding planning. I don't have a clear vision of what I want my wedding to be. I can't even picture myself in a wedding dress. I thought I had a clearer view of what I wanted, and then now all I can think about is flower fairy children. I spoke about this on my Patreon. If you read this book, it's like I'm planning a children's birthday party. It's not like a wedding planner. So I knew that I wanted the children to be little fairies. So I was going to put wings on the children that are attending the wedding, and they would be flower fairies. That's all I've gone on about in the wedding planner. It's just this flower children flower fairies. It reads like a children's birthday party. It doesn't read like a wedding at the moment. So there's no rush. There's no deadline of when we need to get married. So I think I'm just going to put my wedding planning to the side, and then when I feel more inspired, when I can actually envision myself in a wedding dress and everything, then I'll get back to the wedding planning. At the moment, it is like I'm a party planner for children. Where's the bride, Hannah? Where's the wedding? No idea. My mind is completely clouded by that. So I'm just going to put it down, and then when I feel like planning again, I'll pick it back up. So I am currently reading Ballet Shoes. I'm also currently audiobooking Bridget Jones' Diary, but I didn't like the person who was reading the audiobook. It just, for me, I love the Bridget Jones films, and so I really want Renée Zellweger's voice as Bridget Jones to do it, and it's got this really posh woman on the audiobook, so I'm not audiobooking it. I'm going to start it from the beginning and just read it. So I'm going to end it here. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Not a lot of reads in June, but even if I read 1 book a month, if I absolutely love that book, like I absolutely love Mary Higgins Clark, A Stranger Is Watching, I feel like that's absolutely fine. I'd rather read 1 book a month that I adore than 5 books a month that I'm just like, meh, I wasn't really interested in that, I'm not going to remember it, it's not going to like live with me kind of thing. So you know, next month it's just going to be me holding up the Mary Higgins book that I just showed you. My new one, just going, yeah, this, loved it, just every month. Maybe I'll never read any other author by Mary Higgins Clark, because I like her style of writing. I like the thriller. I like how quick-paced it is. I like all the characters. I may never read another author again. Anyway, gonna stop being over dramatic and I'm gonna end this video here. Should we read this book for the book club? I'll make it official now. Tay Book Club is back on this month in June, even though we're well into June. It's Ballet Shoes. It's a children's book. It's a really fast children's book as well. So if you want to do Tay Book Club this month, all you have to do is buy Ballet Shoes by Noel Stratfield, read it by the end of the month. I'll put up a post on my Instagram, a picture of this book, and then you comment your review down below the picture, and then I'll read your reviews out in my review video. I'm just really enjoying it. I think you're going to love it if you love Frances Hodgson Burnett, you like Louise M. Alcott, then you're gonna, oh, you like Ellen Montgomery, you know, who wrote Anne of Green Gables, then I think you're gonna love Ballet Shoes. So I'm gonna end this video here. Tay Book Club, June, we're not even in June, it's July. Oh my God, July. Let's read it, let's love it. I'm already adoring it. I wanna talk to someone about it because I am really enjoying it. I'll be so interested also to know what sister is your favorite. There's Posey Pavetta. I'm saying her name wrong, I know, it's a Russian name, and Pauline, and I really like Petrova, I think her name is Petrova, the one who was found in Russia. I really like her. She's intelligent and she kind of is like, doesn't get on well with the dancing, and I just like her. She really likes cars, and she's not like the other two. I really like her a lot. So she's my favourite. So tell me who your favourite of the sisters is if you're reading it. And I'm going to end this video here now, and I'll see you again soon for another video.